The Ninja Gaiden franchise is a series that is synonymous with hardcore. The funny thing is, this past console generation, it kind of set out, which is weird because you would think with a franchise that had such a resurgence when it came back in 2004 and ran all the way up until 2012, you would think there would be like a remaster or maybe even a new entry that would appear. And we got none of that with the last generation until this year in 2021, where we got the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, which incorporates Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden Razor's Edge all into one package, even though granted it doesn't give you, Ninja Gaiden Black or the original OG vanilla Ninja Gaiden for Xbox. Doesn't give you Ninja Gaiden 2, which some would debatably say is better than Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. But hey, we got modern Ninja Gaiden on all platforms, literally Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam. This review is going to be covering the Master Collection. Let's go ahead and get into it. Before we kick off this video, I want to give a huge shout out to Koei Tecmo for sending over Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, which it's just, honestly, I got it the day of my birthday, which is so amazing. I'm a huge Ninja Gaiden fan. You guys, if you've been following me on social media, you know that I have literally every Ninja Gaiden game that's ever come out, from the official, like the mainline entries of the original trilogy, the modern trilogy. I've got the spin-offs, and I've got literally every version of the modern trilogy too. So I'm a huge fan of the franchise, and to get the Master Collection again on my birthday was just so amazing. So again, Koei Tecmo, thank you for sending that over to me. So as a review, I'm basically going to be talking about what I think of the Master Collection, how I think it stands up against the, Ninja Gaiden Black, as well as Ninja Gaiden, 2 for the original Xbox 360, and if I think this is something that's worth your time. So before we do all that, make sure you like the video, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and join the conversation over on Discord or in Gilded. Links for those are in the description below. If you want to support what we do, we got merch over on Teespring and TeePublic, as well as channel memberships and Patreon if you really, really love the work that we do here in this channel. When I say we, I mean me, because I run this channel and I do everything: cinematography, written reviews, and so much more. I'm a one-man army. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. Story. The Ninja Gaiden Master Collection follows the adventures of young Ryu Hayabusa of the Dragon Ninja Clan as he sets out initially on a journey of revenge and betrayal as he faces threats of rival clans, dragons, governments, and even gods, all set prior to the events of the original NES trilogy of games. Gameplay. The modern Ninja Gaiden games are all about non-stop relentless action. You need to always be on top of your A game, as enemies will show you no mercy and will always be going out of their way to end the Dragon Ninja's life. You'll need to master the Swallow Dive attack, Guillotine Throw, Izuna Drop, and many more moves if you hope to survive. Ryu moves around in various 3D environments with the ability to perform light and heavy attacks, jump attacks, shuriken throws, bow and arrow firing, guarding, counterattacking, dodging, and reverse wind evasive maneuvers. The camera is controlled in all the games with the right analog stick and your back trigger being used to snap the camera behind you. During fights, the camera will try and pan its way to what the game believes to be the best angle to showcase the action, which can often lead to moments of pure frustration. This is due in large part to the first Ninja Gaiden game coming out in the early 2000s and being one of the first successful 3D white knuckle action games, and generally redefining the genre with each successive entry making tweaks to it here and there. Ninja Gaiden Sigma in this collection is based off the improved Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus version that was released on the PlayStation Vita about roughly a decade ago, and includes everything from the PS3 original release from 2007 and the upgrades of the PlayStation Vita version, which include rearranged stages from the Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden Black games, along with new weapons and gameplay and mechanics and improved graphics. This game is somewhat open worldish, even with its chapter-based gameplay, as it has many interconnected levels that you can backtrack to and many secret areas that you can find after after getting upgrades and truly feels like a good 3D Metroidvania. You'll go through the bulk of the chapters controlling Ryu Hayabusa, with you occasionally getting to control Rachel for about 3 missions. Rachel plays differently from Ryu to an extent, as she is so much slower and weaker than he is, and only has access to her Warhammer and retractable whip. Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 in its collection is based off of the PlayStation Vita versions called Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 Plus, and includes everything from the original PlayStation 3 release and the Vita version, which includes more levels than the Xbox 360 exclusive of Ninja Gaiden 2, along with gameplay tweaks to tone down the supreme gore of that version, along with replacing it with light blood splatter and purple mist, while offering different balancing of the enemies and improved graphics. Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 is chapter-based like the first game, however, it does not have any semblance of an open-world structure, and once you complete a level, you move on to the next. Just as in the original Sigma 2, this one gives you not only missions where you control Ryu Hayabusa, but also access to Momiji from Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword and Ayane from Dead or Alive games, as well as Rachel from the previous Ninja Gaiden. All 3 of the female characters play differently from Ryu, with Rachel carrying over her playstyle from the first game, while adding a heavy machine gun to her weapon set. Ayane utilizes dual kodachis and shuriken to dispatch foes along with her supreme speed, and finally Momiji, who utilizes a naginata and has the best range of the 3 while offering a more balanced playstyle. Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge is the most point A to point B game of the trilogy, and has the most significant changes to the gameplay formula, and is still head and shoulders better than the original Ninja Gaiden 3 release that came out in 2012. Yet, it is the weakest entry on this collection. You no longer have access to Murasa's shop to buy or upgrade weapons, or even buy items, and your move list and upgradability is handled differently. While the previous 2 games were campy in nature, Ninja Gaiden 3 and, by proxy, Razor's Edge goes for a decidedly more serious tone, which doesn't work fully. The combat is most like Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, with the added feature of the Steel on Bone mechanic, which has you being able to chain together several instant kill attacks after the Dragon Sword glows fully red. There are also the returning side characters to play as, such as Momiji and Ayane, as well as new character Kasumi, who comes from the Dead or Alive series. Graphics. These games have stood the test of time and continue to look incredible. Although when stacked up against games like Devil May Cry 5, Bayonetta 2, and even the Neo games, it definitely shows its age, especially with Ninja Gaiden Sigma and Sigma 2, as those were early and late 2000s titles. Each title looks great on all platforms and utilized dynamic resolutions. What surprised me most was how great they look on the Nintendo Switch, especially the OLED model, which really brings them to life with its better capability to showcase the color gamut. Ninja Gaiden Sigma looks just as good on the Switch as it did on the PlayStation 3 back in 2007, and actually removes the loading issues you experienced back then and doesn't require an initial install to run properly. It runs at 720p, 60 frames per second in handheld and docked, and it doesn't drop in its performance at all, making it the superior version to play over the PlayStation 3 and Vita versions of the game. On Steam, Xbox One X, and Series X, as well as PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5, the Master Collection version of Ninja Gaiden Sigma runs up to 4K. On the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One S, it runs 1080p 60 frames per second. Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 also looks just as good as its PlayStation 3 counterpart, and substantially better than the Xbox 360 original version that ran at 540p. The performance occasionally dips when there's a lot going on, yet these performance dips are very few and far between and only occur sporadically, or if there's too much going on. Portably, the game runs at 720p, 60 frames per second with occasional dips in FPS, while docked it also runs at 720p, 60 frames per second with occasional performance issues here and there. On Steam, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4 Pro, and PS5, the Master Collection version of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 runs up to 4K, while on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One S, it runs at 1080p 60 frames per second. Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge is where the game struggles on the Switch the most, and is probably the worst version of this game to play, as it's where you'll see the most substantial jumps in graphics compared to every other platform. In both docked and portable mode, the performance struggles greatly to maintain a solid 60 frames per second and dips down to below 30 frames per second at times. It noticeably does this in the opening level, which is shocking to see. Handheld mode tries to maintain 720p and frequently dips below that, and the color palette is a lot more muted on the Switch than any other platform, including the Wii U. Surprisingly, even docked, the Switch struggles to maintain 60 frames per second and dips to as low as 24 frames per second and has a variable frame rate between 720p and 540p compared to the Wii U version. Compared to the Wii U version, this game is pretty disappointing when it comes to performance on the Switch and needs to be optimized with some additional patches. On Steam, Xbox One X, Series X, PlayStation 4 Pro, and PlayStation 5, the Master Collection version of Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge runs up to 4K 60 frames per second. On the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One S, it runs at 1080p 60 frames per second. Downsides. The only real downside to this collection is the performance issues of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, especially that one, which I feel can be patched to be better optimized for the Nintendo Switch, as honestly having the collection on the go is very appealing. It's just disappointing that Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 and Razor's Edge run so poorly. The other downside is the fact that this does not have a physical release in the West, and that's just baffling. Outside of that, I just wonder why the collection didn't include the original NES trilogy or even Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z, although that isn't a downside, as more of a curiosity as to why they aren't there. But I guess Yaiba is more of a spin-off and may not even technically be considered canon. The wrap-up. When collections of previous games are released, that's usually a sign of a new title in the works, and with the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, I'm hoping that we are getting a potential return of the Dragon Ninja. Having these 3 games available on modern consoles is amazing, and even more so amazing when you factor in the ability to play them portably on the Nintendo Switch wherever you go. This collection offers you some of the best pure white-knuckle adrenaline action of any game, and is one that will have you embracing the path of the ninja. If you get the chance, then pick up this game today. The verdict? Most definitely buy it. And that's it. That's the review of Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. Again, thank you to Koei Tecmo for sending this over to me, especially on my birthday. I really greatly appreciate that. And I've enjoyed my time going back through these titles because they're really good. Even if Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge is probably the worst game out of the modern trilogy, just because you can really tell the ones that were handled by Tomonobu Itagaki and the new director that took over as of Ninja Gaiden Sigma, because there was a falling out with Itagaki-san and Koei Tecmo at the time of the release of Ninja Gaiden 2 for the 360. And you can just, like I said, you could see not only the difference in the direction of Ninja Gaiden games going forward past Ninja Gaiden Sigma, but also the Dead or Alive franchise, as there was a massive tonal difference between Dead or Alive 4 going forward with Dead or Alive 5 and Dead or Alive 6. So yeah, it's just very, very different. The trying to be more serious, and then with the inconsistent, difficulty, as there are spikes, like massive spikes in Razor's Edge, which I know Razor's Edge is a substantial improvement over the original Ninja Gaiden 3. It's just not, while it's better, this is not overall a great game. It's good, but when you stack it up against Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden Sigma, and Sigma 2, it just doesn't compete. It's one that when you finish it, you probably will never want to go back to it. But Ninja Gaiden Sigma and Sigma 2, you'll always want to go back to those. But anyways, those are my thoughts. What do you guys think on the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection? Did you pick them up? Were you shocked when they got announced back at E3? I know I was. I was not at all expecting that. But what are your thoughts overall? Whatever you think, let's go ahead and get the conversation going in the comment section below. And if you want to take the conversation further, we do have Discord as well as Guilded with links to those in the description below. Outside of that, if you really enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and ding the notification bell that way you stay up to date on all the greatest and latest content that we put out on this channel. And we, I mean me, because I'm a one-man army. And if you want to support what I do, we got merch over on Teespring and TeePublic, as well as channel memberships and Patreon. And with all that being said, I'm Mekel Kasanova signing out. Hope you have a great and aloha rest of your day. Deuces wild, too sweet, be the elite. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Mahalo for making it to the end of the video. And if you found anything of importance or substance that you gained from watching this, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you sub to the channel and ding the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all the content that you get from my channel, from podcasts, streams, reviews, impressions, reactions, and so much more. If you want to support what we do have channel memberships, we've got Patreon, we've got Subscribe Star, as well as coffee, which I would love to be drinking some coffee right now, which I am. That's some good coffee. But anyway, we got all of that, and we also have merch on Teespring and TeePublic, so make sure you go check that out. And all that being said, I just hope to see you in the next video that I put out. So hey, see you around.